Ah. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Whoa. Oh, I didn't print the thing out. Whoopsie. Print. All right, let's light this rocket ship, though. All right, can't hear it in the background. You can hear it when I talk, though. That's the only thing. That gate, that noise gate opens up. And there it goes. I gotta do one thing. Hold on. Ugh. You ever get like that slime on your lips? Only when your mom comes over. All right, let's see what are we doing here. You ready? Here we go.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
I got some weird shit on my lips. I know, it sounds horrible. Way to start a show, right? But no, it's like that. I don't know what it is. Like I got sunburn or something, and now my lips are peeling, and it's like this slime. I don't know. I don't use chapstick. My wife uses chapstick all the time. I used to use it for a while, but I'm not in Florida anymore, so I'm not outside. I was outside the other day. Man, I got burnt here in North Carolina. I don't know what it is. I've got some, I don't know if you want to call it good news, bad news. I just have news in general. Oh, by the way, this is the Bass Pro Shop. This week's shirt is the Bass Pro Shop from Las Vegas, Nevada. And you're like going, well, why don't you wear this shirt? If you look on this sleeve, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, we have a video for every podcast we do. See, I got bleach or something on it. I don't know what happened in the laundrette, but I've got some smooth the mic. There you go. You can see it now. Bleach or something. I don't know. I think sometimes when I do the laundry, the laundrette, as they say overseas, the high efficiency, I do the cap, and they say only a couple tablespoons. But, I poured in the reservoir, and then I take the whole cap, whatever's left. I mean, not whatever's left. There's residue on the inside of the cap. I just throw it in the wash. And maybe that high concentrate sometimes stains my clothes. I don't know. So I've got a bunch of clothes like this. My wife won't let me wash her clothes anymore. She's like, there's stains all over my clothes. Stop doing that. I'm like, But it gets it clean. So back to the news. That was the shirt of the week. And my blood thumb. There's the update on the blood thumb. So I don't know if you guys know this or not. If you've been listening for a while, I got fidgeting things I'm playing with here. Sorry. That I do several other podcasts. Like I said, I do this one for me. This is my therapy, and hopefully it's your therapy as well. People that are turning 50 or are 50 or going to be 50, just to give them an idea of what, you're not the only one out there. And hopefully some of you will take a different perspective on looking at things at a certain age. There was a study that showed the other day that people in their 50s and 60s, they ask them, what's the secret of life? What's the secret to happiness? And 85% of them said relationships, whether it be friendship, whether it be married, just relationships in general. You strive so hard to show your status, you're a status clinger that, you sit there and you try to get the best car, try to get the best house, try to get the best job. And they're, one of the people that they were interviewing in the article said, we sold everything and we thought that we were going to be like heartbroken. It was a woman they interviewed. My husband and myself sold everything, bought a houseboat or something like that. And, I'm sorry, not a houseboat, a RV, and just started traveling and realized that they were more happier once they sold everything, just traveling the world and being together. And if you can find that person, not necessarily a relationship, marriage wise or boyfriend, girlfriend, but relationships in general, when you have good relationships with people, you tend in general to be happier. And I agree. You don't want to be miserable. You don't want to be, today, what is, asshole going to say to me? What is, I got to deal with this. I got to walk on eggshells, all that stuff. So it was an interesting article. I just read it in passing. And so I just thought I'd throw that out there. And it's true. Now, I'm still at a point where, like, our house right now that we have 22 some odd acres. We have horses. We have a lot of animals, a lot of high valued, high dollar animals here on the property. And my wife and I are at that point where we're like going, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of, not that we're, watching me on the video, not that we're beating heads or anything, but it's a lot of work to take care of these animals. And most of it's hers. Most of it's her doing. She rides horses and stuff. And, oh, hold on, I got to take this. Hi.
Hi, what's going on?
Doing the show.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
It's okay. What's up?
No, I was just calling to check in. I forgot you had the show.
Yeah,
I'll let you go.
No. You can check in.
Okay. No, I was just checking in.
Okay.
How you doing? I was walking back down the barn just about to fill my trash up. Oh, Bo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he looks good.
How'd he do?
Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. I had just my normal lesson today.
Right.
With Brett. But he was good. I didn't ride him too hard because he's going to have a hard day tomorrow and he'll have a hard day on Sunday. So we did a little bit lighter of a lesson, but he was really good.
Very good. Oh, you hung up on me. Don't you ever.
I didn't do that. That was you.
Ever. Oh, probably press it to my face.
Yeah.
My big fat face.
Oh, no. Okay, well, I was just calling to check in with you and see how everything was going. I forgot you had the show, so.
That's okay. All the meats and everything are on the grill. Everything's going good.
Okay. Oh, very good. Very good. Alrighty.
Alrighty.
All right, sounds good. We'll have a good rest of your show.
Okay, I'll text you when I'm done.
Okay.
All right.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Where did I leave off? Am I still recording? Okay. So as we were talking about relationships, my wife calls and, that if you're watching this video, you can hear the whole conversation. She's like, oh shit, I forgot you're doing the show. I just want to check in. She's at a clinic right now. That's why she was calling to check in and stuff. But anyways, my wife and I are trying to downsize just to make everything a little easier on us to where we can actually go out and go on vacation. And we have booked our trip to Alaska. We're doing 10 days. We're going to stay in either Seattle, Vancouver. I forget what she said, for 2 days. And then it's a 8-day trip around Alaska. So on a cruise liner. So that'll be nice. That'll be fun. I worry about we were discussing the drink packages about the cruise Royal Caribbean or what, I forget which one we're doing. And, it allows for each person to have 15 drinks a day. In my mind, that sounds like my wife's going to have 10 and I'm going to have 20 if you do the math on that. But so we'll see how fun that'll be. As far as good news and bad news, back what I was originally discussing, I know I'm jumping all over the place. My wife kind of threw me off tempo, but it's okay. We'll catch it up next break. As you guys know, I do several different podcasts out of this studio. I do every Monday, I do a horse educational podcast. Every Wednesday, I do a entertainment weekly update on the news that you might have missed on, your social media feeds or just get you up to date. Did you know type deal. Excuse me. And then I do a bad calls, which is basically just a lot of editing work, a lot of technical stuff, and then I do this show. The horse show that I do is once every 12 weeks. I'm sorry, that would suck. It's a show every one a week for 12 weeks, and then we take 2 weeks off, and then 12 weeks, 12 on, 2 off, 12 on, 2 off. And it's nice having that one Monday off, that one extra day in the week to get things done here around the property. You know, it is the getting springtime, and there's a lot more stuff that needs to be done. The lawn needs to be mowed twice as much, and things need to be taken care of, and, you know, on down the list when you own a property this size. And then I started thinking, I said, well, why can't I do outside of contractual obligations on the other ones? Why can't I make all of the shows 12 on and 2 off and group them all together? So I've already told the people on the entertainment show, I'm like going, hey, look, you know, this is what I'm going to do from now on. I hope you guys are okay with that. And now I'm telling you guys on this show, This is 50 show, that I'm going to do 12 on and 2 off. So if you're missing 2 weeks, that's what's happening. I'm taking 2 weeks off to get stuff around the property done. Now, when we get into the slower season, when we get back into the fall and winter months, of course, we'll go back on a regular schedule. But I need to, for my sanity, for my peace of mind of getting stuff done, I need to take that time off with everything else, where I have just 2 weeks of nonstop working here on the house. Well, that sounds like, well, Trav, that doesn't sound like fun. That doesn't sound like vacation. No, you don't understand. Everything that I do for this show, video-wise, editing-wise, audio-wise, promotion-wise, is done right here. You're looking at, head chairman, secretary, vice president, all that stuff right here if you're watching this on the YouTube. It's all done right here. And so I don't want to lose anyone. I just want you guys to know that that's what's going on. So this is the start of it. So I'm going to say this is the end of my 12-week run. We're going to take 2 weeks off and then come back and do it again. I should have a lot more topics. Hopefully not more topics that I do now, but I mean, just a lot more interesting stuff. Not that the stuff I talk about now is not interesting, but I got a lot to talk about this week. So I'm going to take a little break. So stick around. I'll be right back. So if you're friends of us on Facebook, This is 50 show on Facebook, make sure you like us over there, because I got a bunch of these. If you can see them here on the camera. Can you see them? Let me switch cameras here. See them? If you want to have a This is 50 button, go on over to the Facebook page, and we'll send one out to you. Well, how do you do that? Well, unfortunately, you have to give me your mailing address. That's the only way. It's not I'm not going to steal it or knock on your door or anything, just so I can ship these out. That's it. So if you want one of these, free of charge, you can have it. All you got to do is go to Facebook. I'm kind of bribing you. Go over there on Facebook, and I'll send one out to you. Send a couple out to you. I got a bunch of stickers and stuff. Those are brand new. Little buttons. They're like an inch and a half. They say this is 50 on it, especially if your family or anything is turning 50 or something like that. It's kind of cool to give them to them. You know, over the hill. You know, when I turned 50, I didn't have an over the hill party or anything like that. The stem of the show is, hey, look, this is 50 now. They don't look at it over the hill anymore. A lot of people I've seen, friends, that I grew up my age now, they're starting to hit that 50-year-old mark. And they saw one the other day that said on Facebook, welcome to the cool kids club. No one said it over the hill or anything like that. So I don't know if that's gone by the wayside. As you heard, my wife just called, and the conversation we had during the break there, I'll put that up on the YouTube channel. She's at a horse clinic, and which is fine. She can do that. She can do it all she wants. It's her horse, her money, our money, but her horse and stuff. I do this. But in the last, I don't know what's happened. She used to work when they had COVID and everything. She was working full time here at the house. Her job allowed her to do that. She get business calls and she's got 15 screens up. She's looking at documents and doing all this stuff. She's got a very high prioritized job title and stuff. master director of international exchange markets or something. I don't know what it is. People ask me what she do. What does she do? And I go, she's my wife. Point at her, she's my wife. But now they're doing this hybrid thing, which they should just eliminate altogether. But, give them another year. They'll figure that out. Where she's two days here at the home and 3 days in the office. And when she started going in the office, I don't know if they had like this big meeting or something, but her vocabulary around the house has changed, not dramatically, but just kind of like she said something. I was like, where the fuck did that come from? One of the main things that stuck out, as you can see, I'm pretty foul-mouthed here. She started saying fart. Oh, fart. Oh, fart. If something happens, oh, fart. Fart? You've never said that in the whole entire 18 years that we've been together, babe. Farts? Now you're saying fart? You and me we were born sailors, and, oh, fart. All right. And another thing that's changed in her vocabulary is yelling at me about something. Hold on. There's a scene from Pulp Fiction. Oh, man, I shot Marvin in the face. Well, how the hell did you do? I don't know, man. The gun just went off. I didn't mean to. And they call Mr. Wolf in. And Mr. Wolf comes in. He's like, I hear you got a problem. I'm here to fix it. And it's a classic scene from Pulp Fiction. And there's a scene where Mr. Wolf, Harvey Keitel, goes, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this with this. And let's get going, And Vincent Vega, John Travolta goes, well, Harvey Keitel goes, what's wrong? He goes, a please or something like that. Can you say please? And Harvey Keitel goes, pretty please, with sugar on top. Get it fucking done. That type deal. And that was my thesis in college, was that movie. So I've always taken that approach. Hey, look, we need to get something done, whether it be big or small or something like that. Hey, let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, I mean, do it in a diplomatic way. Let's do this. Let's do this. Give me that. Let's do this. And then, can I get a please? Yeah, pretty please with sugar on top. But we need to get this done. So my direction from that movie is like, if we're in the kitchen, hey, pass me the salt, or pass me can you find this? Can you find that? If we're cooking and it's my wife and I working together. She really gets on me if I don't say it around my dad. Dad, do me a favor. Go in the other room and grab, A, B, and C. She would go, say please. Please, Dad, go get me. I mean, my whole entire life, the dialogue between me and my dad has always been that way. My dad would always be like, hey, go grab that. Sure, no problem. I know that's my mission. Grab it, bring it back, mission accomplished. I asked my dad to do something like that. I hear her in the background going, please, say please. Okay, please, pretty please, with sugar on top. Go get it. I'm tired of it. But it's that conversation. I don't know if she's had something in the office where they say, okay, everyone, listen up. These people have been working from home for the last 4 years, and you have never seen their faces. You've worked with them. You know their names and stuff. They didn't have, eye contact or anything like that. When these people come in the office, make sure we are polite. I don't know. I'm just saying, this is speculation in my mind. Let's not cuss. Let's use alternative words, and let's say please and thank you when we ask things to get done, and when things get done, appreciate them. So she started back in the office in January, and since January, it's fart and say please. And I'm like, all right. But I know, and I don't say anything really, demonstrative to her. I don't say anything bad as far as, what the fuck are you doing? I know that she has to maintain this dialect because she only sees me like on a full day outside of today during the weekend. And I have a tendency to have bad influences on people as far as dialect and stuff. I don't know if you guys know this or not, especially our listeners from the last year or so. I'm sure they're talking and saying shit. But, you know, our conversation back and forth, oh, fart, say please. Oh, fart, say please. That's what we've been doing. And I'd say, this is something she's doing. She wants to better herself. She wants to change her dialogue. By all means, go ahead. See you later. Say please and thank you. All right. I went to the store saying please and thank you. I almost said holy shit is what I said. It must be a sign from God. God or someone, if you believe in some kind of outside spirit or something like that. And I got the last one. And I kind of stopped and weighed myself mentally, my options. So I'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. My neighbors next door, the one in that has the six kids. I think three. Let's see, the Isaiah, Micah, Kendra, Andrea. 4 out of the 6 are still living in the house. Josiah, the boy, the second oldest, he went to school to be a train conductor, train engineer out in Wyoming, way out there. I mean, the coal trains, not like the electric trains or anything like that. He went to school for that. It was amazing. He did a lot of stuff. And then the 6th kid is married with a kid and whatever she's doing. So right now, the boy, Josiah, yeah. No, they're not Mormons. They're just very, 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 if catch my drift. He's on furlough. So he's home for the next 3 weeks. You know, he doesn't want to go out, he still has an apartment out there, but he doesn't want to have to spend any money if he doesn't have to. Plus his dad is a pilot for American Airlines, so I'm sure he got a flight back home real cheap. So he's home. I'm like, all right, cool, and he's out in the world, right? What's that? Ramstein, not Ramstein, where the Mormons go out in the world for a year and figure out if they want to come back or not. This is his first time being out on his own, living on his own, and he comes back home and doing this stuff when he's back home. So they have a little basketball goal over there, and I told you the story about me being part of the practice team for the Orlando Magic. And so I heard the basketball going, and I go, and it's a recent basketball goal they just put up. And I looked through the bushes. Actually, you can hear the basketball because in the country sound travels. There's no anything deadening any noises or anything. It's pretty quiet out here. And I hear dunk, dunk, ding, dunk, dunk, ding. And I go, hey, yelling through like the trees and stuff. You ready to lose? Mr. Holmes. Oh, it's a Nazi over there. Mr. Holmes. I said, you ready to lose? And it's Josiah. He's out there. They're playing basketball. Of course, I'm a sucker for basketball. So I run over there. Yeah, come on over. I said, all right. So let me get my shoes on. Let me change and stuff. And I, changed my shoes and got everything and went over there. And I said, I can't play basketball unless you have a leather ball. And I look at the ball and I was like, oh, this is my old one that I threw in their yard. Here you go, kids. Play with this. 6 years ago when they were younger. So we're shooting around playing basketball, and then the mom comes out and goes, what are you guys doing? I go, Ma, it's lunchtime. We're playing basketball. So she joins in, and she played college basketball growing up and stuff. She had a, what do they call it, a scholarship. And then the dad comes out, and he's 46, and he comes out, and he's fit guy, about my size, 6'1", 6'2", probably about 30 pounds, 40 pounds lighter than I am, but still, I'm out there slinging with the best of them. So I'm out there playing. We're just shooting around. No defense or anything. We're just kind of shooting around. Bing. If I make the shot, give my change, man. Give my change. They're like looking at me like, what? Come on, man. It's street ball. You get your change and you shoot it again and you keep on going. The best part was because we're playing on one of those rolly rims, you put the concrete cinder blocks on the back of it, and you hit the backboard, and the backboard just goes donk, and the ball drops straight down. There's no give on that thing. And the youngest one, Isaiah, the Nazi, he's running around grabbing the basketball. He loves it. Oh, man, the ball goes flying off into the grass. He runs over and grabs it, and here, Mr. Holmes. Oh, now I'm your friend. There's Schindler. So I'm shooting the ball, and the dad comes in, and he puts a couple moves on, and the mom, who played, like I said, college basketball, and she shows her moves and stuff, and I think she's 44, he's 46, and here I am 51, and we're like, I'm like, all right, cool. I got a little bit of competition. I'm like shaking and grooving and ducking and moving. So I'm sitting there, and we're playing, and I said, the little Nazi comes around, and I do just this regular bounce, step, spin to the baseline, and the little kid clips me. So in my experience playing on, parquet floor and stuff, you tuck whatever side you tuck your arm in, shoulder down, and you expect to slide. Okay, my feet are going out. Here we go. I'm going to tuck my arm in and slide across the parquet floor to make it a little bit more smoother, so you're not you're not too concussed when you hit the ground. No, this is concrete. My mind totally forgot about it. And let's see. Remember that lump that I had on my elbow? You can see it on the YouTube video here. I got some scrapes and scars on, not scars, but I got some scrapes on it. Yep, I hit that elbow right on the ground. I'm feeling for my phone, 50-year-old problems. Where's my phone? And I expect to pull my phone out and the screen be all cracked. And I basically hit the ground and stuck. Boom. Oh my God. Everyone stopped. The ground shook. I think I saw a couple of them bounce off the concrete for an inch or two when I hit the ground. Are you okay? You okay? I'm like, yeah, just a little pride hurt and my arm and my side of my leg, and I'm fine. Next morning, I woke up and I was like, oh, I don't know if it was the basketball or the car wreck I got into. Holy Jesus. And I told my wife when it happened, I said, how'd basketball go? I was out there for like 30 minutes, enough to really break a sweat. And she says, I said, was out there playing basketball, and I come back in. How'd it go? And I'm standing right behind her at her desk here at her home office, and she's like, oh, wow, you are sweaty. And then I go like this, if you're watching this on YouTube, and I show her my arm. Oh, what'd you do? Did you fall? Big baby, you fell? I'm like, no, I fell. She's like, are you okay? I said, yeah. I said, the weird part was when I fell, I felt every vertebrae in my back crack. And when I got up, I swear to God, I was like an inch and a half taller. So I was like, maybe I should do that a little bit more often. But it was fun. It was fun playing around with them. And when I was all done, you know what I did? I drove to the store because I was all out of libations. Yep, I'm like, oh, that was a good workout. Time to run to the store. Get 10 miles in, drive to the store, get a couple cases of beer for the next 4 or 5 days until I go to town again. And I drive to the local food line where I met the one beer vendor one time. He's like, hey, aren't you? Yeah. Past a couple podcasts ago. And I look. Now, this is what's today? Today's Friday, because we do this show every Friday at 1 o'clock. I look, and I was playing basketball on Monday. It had to be Monday because my wife was home. Take that back. Sorry. It was Wednesday. See, this is why I'm taking 2 weeks off. It was Wednesday because I was getting ready to do the entertainment show. And I said, well, 12:30 playing with the kids and stuff. I'm like, all right, I got to go. I got to go sign on and do my show. And they all started, the husband started laughing at me. You got to work? Really? I go, yeah. He always goes, you don't really work. I'm like, yeah, obviously I don't. So anyways, I'm driving to the store, and it's Wednesday afternoon, 1 o'clock, and I go to the beer fridge. I'm walking down the aisles. Everything's all packed out and stuff. and I go to get the Busch Light because that's more bang for my buck. And I look, there's one case left in there, one 24-pack of Busch Light. And I go, well, I'm like looking around. I'm like, well, I guess I could go with Miller Lite. Same bang, more buck. It's like $3 more. And I go, oh, no. Now, look, I said, let's go with Coors. Now, still, they're both in tandem with each other as far as prices. And the case that was in there, you ever been grocery shopping and when you're picking out meat, you know, the packaged meat, like from the butcher from the back room, you know, Winn-Dixie, Publix, wherever you buy your food from. And then you see that one package that's not like in tandem, not in sync with all the other packages, like it was just thrown, like it was a return. Like it's been thrown in there sideways, and like half of the meat has got like a little brown. It's gotten like it was kind of at room temperature for a little bit, but you never know. And so you're like, I'm not using that one. This case of beer looked like someone beat it with a friggin' bat. And that was it. It was the last one. The handle, half of the handle was ripped. The box was all crinkled. It wasn't nice and, you know, sharp and nice creased edges. It was like, ugh. And I go, there better be 24 in here. That's the only thing I said. There better be 24 beers in here. So I grab it, put it in my cart, go up front. The cashier, who I see all the time, only one today? I'm like, shut up. Don't judge me. And as I'm pulling out of the parking lot and pay for it, you know, load it up and pull out of the parking lot, I go, well, I do need to get gas in my truck. So the gas station sells cases. A lot of gas stations don't sell full cases. The gas station I go to sells a full case. I said, well, shit, I'll get the other two because I usually buy 3 at a time. I'll get the other 2 at the gas station. $21 for the same fucking case. I'm like, God damn it. Damn it. Well, maybe I was thinking, is this a sign? Is this a sign saying, no, Travis, you just need the one case because if you go to case number 2, something bad's going to happen to you. So we don't want to put that temptation in your mind, in your shopping cart. Just go home with the one case. Nope. Right off my shoulder. I'm not listening to you. But I did, like, for a split second as I'm turning in to get, I don't really need gas, but I'm like, I'm here. I might as well, I got a quarter of a tank. I might as well. And on the books, I kind of fudged the gas purchases and beer purchases all at the same time. I know it's tax time. Believe me, my CPA's like going, don't tell them that. Don't tell them that. No. Anytime I buy beer, it's always on a gas purchase. So I kind of go, well, I spent, $98 on gas, but you only got 4 gallons. I know. But still, let's go with it. So I put it in the truck and I get home and I'm like going, oh man, did I do something wrong? Should I have gotten the other 2 cases? Well, come to find out, this is the end of the 3 cases that you're watching me here on the video. So everything's fine. Everything's fine, right? Right? Tell me everything's fine. Everything's good. I had a quote unquote discussion with my dad the other day, and maybe I shouldn't have had that other case of beer. I'll dive in that story when we come back. So stick around. My neighbors next door, I technically have physically 4 neighbors. And I use that term not necessarily, like you would think in the traditional form where, house, your house to the left, house to the right, maybe a house behind you or something like that. I've got 4. Oh, I guess it would be traditional, but they're a little further for the most part. If you're looking at my house, the 22 some odd acres out here in beautiful Marshville, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. To the left, about 500 feet is the Mormon house. The guy's got all the kids. To the right of me, the immediate right to me, he's a little closer. He's about 300 yards. About 300 yards. No, 300 feet, sorry. 300 feet from me, is the Filipino family. They got like 2 acres over there. Behind him, but butts up on the back side of my property. I'm sitting here blocking my vision here on the camera. I'm looking at the camera now over on YouTube. Butts up to the neighbor on the hill. He's my backdoor neighbor. And then on the very, very back side of the property, they just sold the lot back there that stretches across the backside of my property and then connects to the Mormon family behind me. I know it's a weird scheme that I got set up. Not that I set it up. Like I went down to the city council. Hey, can we do this? But the guy, the pilot, moved in probably 6 years, 7 years, 8 years ago, somewhere around there. The neighbor before him was an ass, just an ass. I say he was an ass. He was okay to me, but it was one of those, we moved in and they always say, scope out the house day and night to see if you want to live, what are your neighbors like, during the day and what are your neighbors like during the night. Well, I'm not going to sit out here in the middle of the country and watch my new neighbors to feel like I'm going to buy a house here. Now, granted, I wouldn't buy a house next to a house that, looks like a bunch of crackheads live there. I'm not buying that house. No. I'd rather live in an RV. But the guy who lived there, his wife passed away and he had 3 boys, and he was always yelling at him. Stop it, son of a bitch. Stop. Because the boys were just boys. They were BB guns and they were just hellions, wildlands, out of control. Shit. Cut it out. Didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't do anything, just had this really, really bad temper. He was a CO, a corrections officer, for a long time. There's a local prison here about 50 miles up the road. He used to work there. So he's got this big attitude, and he's a little bit bigger than I am. He's probably 6'3". He's probably 320. He's a big. You ever seen what's the wrestler? The cop wrestler. Oh, what was his name? Someone out there will punch it in down below. Back in the 90s, he was a cop. Not Bam Bam Bigelow, but I don't know. He was a cop. He had a goatee and a flat top. That's what he looked like without the flat top. And he would cuss and scream, and he's like, I don't want to pay for that. When something had to be fixed on the house, I don't want to pay. All that stuff. And the reason why I tell you that is because our property here, we just have our AC unit, AC heat pack, whatever it is. I don't know. It's all new to me. We have a service agreement. They come out twice a year. You pay them $250. They come out right before spring. Make sure all the stuff's working right before summer or right before winter. They'll come out and check out everything. And is it worth it? Yes, because there was a part that they found that the fan blades that's supposed to cool a central solenoid or something, they were all rusted and stuff. And he was like going, if that thing was to overheat, that would have been a $1,200 fix. But to replace the fan motor and all this other stuff was $400 and something. Fine, good, great, do it. Let's get us back on track. So my neighbor, he's got 2 units. Oh, a fancy guy, right? Fancy guy. No, he's got a 2-story house, huge 2-story house. We're sitting on 3,800 square feet. I think his is 4,800 square feet because of the upper loft and everything. He's got a bigger footprint of a house. We have a bigger land. He's got a bigger footprint of a house. So one of the stipulations when he bought the house next door was that the upstairs AC unit needed to be replaced. So he put in the cheapest, the most god-awful one just to sell the house. And I was telling my neighbor now, I was like, oh man, you gotta ask for these things in the contract. You've got to ask for it needs to be this, it needs a certain level, certain this. You have to put these in the contract. Something as simple as the window treatments. Here at our house, when we bought this house, I said, in the contract, well, what else do you want to, what kind of riders do you want to have in the contract? Well, first of all the landscape stays. And anything that you want to stay on the property, you need to put that in the contract. So I told you, we're getting new blinds and stuff. So one by one, I'm taking the blinds down and putting them up and stuff. But I felt bad for the neighbor next door because he didn't specify what type of AC unit he wanted or needed to be. So I see the AC guy over there, and he's like doing this and doing that. And I when I was playing basketball with him the other day, I said, hey, what's going on with your AC unit? He goes, well, it's leaking Freon. It's freaking coolant. And the handler's up in the attic, and the outside unit's out here. I said, so what's the fix on that? He goes, well, they can patch it for $5,000, or they can replace the whole unit inside and out, $15,000. I said, Jesus Christ, $15,000? I said, come on, man. I said, what size is that unit? He's like, it's 3.5 tons. And I said, $15,000 for that. Now, the reason why I'm yelling and screaming so much is we have a house. My wife and I still have a rental house down in Florida. And that house is 3,200 square feet. And we've had it since we've been together. So 18, 19 years. And when you get tenants in there, they just, run 70 degrees all day long in Florida. I don't fucking care. I don't care. So the unit got aged and it aged out, and we had to buy a new one. It was only, I think, $8,400 to replace both the inside and the outside unit. $8,400, which is, I don't want to say that's not a whole lot of money. It's a whole lot of money to anyone who doesn't have that kind of money. But $15,000 for a 3.5 ton unit that is now the SEER, where they call the SEER, the SEER. They've changed that whole scale. The one that was there was 13 at the neighbor's house, and now it's a 16, but that's technically a 20, but now they've moved the scale around. I don't know. He was explaining to me. I'm like, just leave the numbers be. Just let it go. I said, so what are you going to do? He goes, well, I mean, it's either $5,000 for them to, cut the coils because it's leaking out of the coils, cut the coils and put a new coil in there and solder everything back together, and it'll last for 5 years or $15,000, and I get a whole brand new unit. I'm like, Jesus. Here in the studio, if you're looking over my head here, see that right there? Now, it's only 800 square feet up here, so don't get me wrong, and we've cut the room in half. I've got a playroom on the other side of that wall right there. I say playroom. It's guitars and drums and all that stuff's over there. But on this side of the room is completely AC. So if I want to AC that out of the room, open the door, AC flows that way. This unit right here, bought it online, installed it myself. Whoops. Got to figure out my point. Was $700. Now, granted, it cost $1,000 because I messed up and didn't do the Freon and stuff right. But still, I didn't put the connections on tight. So they had to drain it and do all that stuff. I don't want to talk about it. But anyways, I mean, that $1,000, $2,000 because of my mistake. And that's a unit that'll do this room. It heats it, cools it, no problem. I'm like, why can't you do that upstairs? I don't know. He's like, I don't know. I go, well, sorry for you. Sorry for your loss. Now, I told you the story of us replacing the windows. Or the blinds, not the windows, the blinds. The blinds we had were Roman shades, and they're all fabric. And they're string operated. It's a pulley system. It pulls them up. They kind of just sit there. They have a headrail with a whole bunch of small little gadgets. Most of them are plastic. It's a friction and lock and friction and tension lock type deal. We have I forget how many windows we did. Let's say 16 windows. And when I pulled them down, I put them in a pile on the back porch. Wrapped them up nice and neat, put the string around them and kind of stacked them up like logs. And I go, Dad, when you burn, because we don't have garbage pickup here, when you burn the daily trash for the day, only put one of these on the fire at a time. Huh? Only put one of these blinds on the fire at a time. Okay, why? I said, because it's going to stink. It's going to stink. And I don't want my neighbors next door, when I play basketball with, to say anything. Okay. So, he did that for a little bit, and then he burned them all one at a time. 4 or 5 days go by, and he burns one and burns another one. And so then I did the last room of the house, and I had 4 blinds that came out of that room. Big blinds, big windows, big blinds. And I just threw them in the back of the side-by-side, wrapped them up, threw them in the back of the side-by-side. He threw all 4 of them on the fire. And you're like going, well, what's the big deal? You ever smell burning plastic, burning clothes, burning flesh, and it just smolders? It doesn't really burn out. Wood, when you burn it, as long as it's not wet, will burn a nice flame. You see vapors, you don't see any smoke. When you burn fabric, it's a smoke. It's a smolder. It's a... So the day before, like today, I'm cooking meat out on the grill. I'm smoking meat out on the grill. And the day before my dad did the fire, I smoked some stuff out on the grill. And my neighbor's like going, I get a text, oh, what are you cooking over there? I'm like, I'm just, grilling some chicken and stuff. And, voices carry, smell travels as well. And then that morning, the morning after I was cooking on the grill, my dad throws all the things on the fireplace or on the fire pit out there. And that smoke, it's like billowing. It's thick smoke. And the wind, moves from east to west out here. And he's on the west side of me. And that smoke was just going right into his house and just basically permeating all this. And he sends me a text. Because he takes a picture, and the smoke is so thick, it traveled the 500 feet, and it was still thick traveling in his yard. He goes, this doesn't smell like what you were cooking yesterday. And I go, oh, fuck. Fart. Sorry, fart. Fart. Dad. Huh? Did you put all those blinds on there? I thought that's why you put them in the back of the side-by-side for me to burn them all. Dad, remember when I said one at a time and throw some wood on it? Because we got branches that fall down all the time on the property. So there's always an oak branch or a maple branch, which makes everything smell nice when you burn it. No, I thought you wanted me to burn them all at the same time. No, I don't. I didn't. I said, I got a text from the neighbor, and he's complaining. Huh? Which neighbor? Like he's going to go over there and slap him around or something. I said, the pilot next door. And he goes, well, tell him I'm sorry. That's it? Just tell him you're sorry? You're not going to fix the fire out there? You're not going to spread it out or anything, that you're done? Just one and done? What do you want me to do? Nothing, Dad. Nothing. Watch your show. Go ahead and sit in front of your monitor, a foot in front of your monitor, and have the thing blare 15,000 decibels, and you're sitting right in front of your TV watching things. And I digress. So I had to go out there with a hard rake and kind of spread the thing out so it would burn itself out instead of just being like the tire fire from The Simpsons. But it's just, sometimes he doesn't think. Sometimes he does not think. And I thought something happened yesterday, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Something happened yesterday, and I was just like, I had enough. And I maybe shouldn't have had that second case of beer, because if I didn't have the second case of beer laying around, I probably wouldn't have said this to my dad. So, all right, I'm going to take a little break and check the meat that I'm smoking out on the grill, and I'll be right back. So the only reason why I'm smoking meat out on the grill is because my wife, she has a horse clinic this weekend. So what does that mean for non-equine professionals out there? Means that there's a special person that comes in and has a special skill to show how to train your horse to make it do this and make it do that, to make sure the horse gets the most involved training that it needs to go on to the next level. The only way I can describe it is you can have a baseball coach like Little League, let's say Little League. You can have the coach of the team, right? Yeah, he knows the basic ins and outs of the games and all that stuff, but then you bring in a hitting coach that shows the kids actually how to connect with the ball, and it's a class. This is how you hit the ball. Same thing with a pitcher. They bring a professional in to show how to, pitch and stuff like that. Same thing with horses. And they call it a clinic, just like a baseball, I guess, would have a clinic as well. And he comes out here probably every 4 months or something like that. And, refresher course. So my wife's part of this clinic, you pay a certain amount. I don't know how much it is. I don't care. I don't want to know. You slap the word horse on something, automatically doubles. See this pen? This pen right here, if you're watching this on YouTube, this pen right here probably costs, I don't know, $1 something. It's a nice gel pen. It's the Pilot G2. That's what I use all the time. You put horse, equine, or anything on this pen, it's now $7. So, that's the technical markup when you have horses. It's sad, it's scary, but it's what the nature of the beast. So she's out there, and everyone that's at the barn that she's at, one of her horses is stationed over there. And I think there's like a dozen horses in there. So a dozen people are out there training and doing all this stuff. And it's a 3-day clinic. They ride. Then there's a lot of groundwork on Saturday. And then they ride again on Sunday. Now, it's close enough. The barn's close enough, of course, that she can come home and then go back out there and come home. I think it's like 20 miles away. So it's not a big deal for her to drive there. She drives there every day. Not every day, but when she has lessons and stuff. That's why the horse is over there. But she's going to be gone all weekend. So it's up to me, this guy right here, to figure out what to eat. Now, if it was up to me trying to be good and healthy and stuff, I'd eat, Subway sandwiches and pizza and all that stuff. But I'm trying to maintain my composure. I'm trying to get the weight down. I'm not doing very well, but we'll get into that on another show. Probably before the cruise. I got to get into that Alaskan fit body, I got to look good for the Samoans out there. But so I said, well, babe, what do you want? I said, I wanted to smoke a whole chicken. I love smoked chicken. She's like, okay. Well, those burnt ends and stuff, that chuck roast, why don't you smoke one of those for me? Okay, I can do that. I was going to do pork tenderloin too for the week so we can have like leftovers and stuff. She's like, oh yeah. So I've got all 3 of those going out there in the smoke pit out there. And it's a matter of balancing the chicken from the beef, from the pork, make sure they don't touch and cross-contaminate, make sure this one's doing this. And, I've got 15 temperature gauge stuck in every orifice of whatever meat that I'm doing. And I'm checking all I got to move this. I got to touch this. And so that's what I'm doing. So my neighbors should be pretty happy with the smell that's coming out of there. But normally what happens is, not the other day, but normally what happens is my dad, this time of year, well, any time of the year, he sits on the back porch. It's beautiful. The back porch overlooks the whole entire property. And when I say overlooks the whole entire property, our property, the house and everything sits up on a hill. And you can and it's a 7-degree pitch, which is not very much, but it's enough to where if you're sitting on the back porch, you can see the top of the barn that's 500 yards on the back of the property. It's a nice sight line. You can see, everything around. So he sits back there and has his Miller Lite or whatever that he needs. And then, relaxes, falls asleep sometimes, and then goes back in the house and takes a nap in his room and so on and so forth that an old man does. One thing that he does is we have, big, nice plantation ceiling fans on the back porch. He'll turn them on, fall asleep, wake back up. Chicken will scare him or something because the chickens run free. Oh, fucking chickens. And he'll walk in the house and forget to turn the ceiling fans off. And we go through this. This is the second year now, or third year. I forget what it is. I've got to tell him, Dad, when you leave the back porch, we're not AC in the neighborhood. Turn the fans off. I don't mind you having them on while you're out there. Turn them off when you go inside. I was going to. Oh, going to. I remember saying that to my dad when I was his age, or he was my, I don't know. What goes around comes around, right? So the other day, he left him on, and he went in the house, and I just so happened to go right behind him, maybe 30 minutes later, and he's passed out in his little chair there in his room, his cubicle. And I said to him, hey, after diving into the second case. First case is done. That was the day before. Second case. Go ahead. Continue that groove going. Hey. Dad. Are you done outside? I was going to go back out there. Because he knew what I was going to say. I said, okay, then I'll leave the fans on. All right. I said, what's wrong? It's hot. What do you mean it's hot? Is this a hot that I need to worry about, or it's hot it's hot outside? It's hot in here. So for Christmas, I bought him a thermometer, an interior thermometer for in his room, because he was complaining that, sometimes it's cold in the house, sometimes it's hot in the house. I said, here's a thermometer for your room, thermometer. Turn on whatever heaters you need. Turn on the ceiling fan, whatever you need to do to make your room comfortable. Here's your thermometer. You can keep on top of it. You have a physical number. He said, it's 81 degrees in my room today. All right, Dad. So let's figure this out. I bought him one of those little personal fans. If you're watching this on the YouTube video, it's about this big. Little personal fan. I say fan, little heater, little ceramic heater. He was running it all the way up until we started getting warmer temperatures here in the Carolinas. He's got a computer, huge computer, gaming computer, runs everything. His TV, everything. He's streaming movies, streaming all that stuff. He's got a cable box that he's got all this stuff. And granted, it's not a small room. It's 12 by 14. It's a good size room with a huge walk-in closet. He's got a good size room. The problem is, he shuts that door. He's got an oil heater, one of those radiator heaters. I don't know if that's on or not. Sometimes he forgets. He forgets to turn the goddamn ceiling fans off. He probably forgot the damn oil heater was still on. And it doesn't make any noise. It doesn't click. It just heats. It's a radiator heater. I said, Dad, open your window. You'll have a window in here. If it's hot, we have the double pane, or the double jalis, whatever it's called, where both panels will slide up and down. They can pass each other if they want. I said, open up your window. I don't want to do that. Why not? He goes, because then the sun will reflect off the TV and I can't watch the TV. I said, Dad, you can open the windows and keep the blinds and everything shut. Huh? I said, Dad. I said, don't be a fucking idiot, Dad. I said, you can open the window up and keep the blinds down. I can? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Dad. Yeah. Never mind. Do you need anything? I'm going to go turn the fans off. How is there something, a diagnosis that I'm missing there? Is he? And I said, I didn't say fucking idiot. I said, Dad, don't be an idiot. You don't have to keep the blinds open. You just open the window and let the air. He didn't get it. It wasn't clicking. He didn't understand. He did not understand that was an option for him. So then this morning, because this happened yesterday, I said this morning, is your room getting any cooler? All right, I'm not going to bother you about it anymore. I gave you the option. If you don't want to take the option, I'm sorry. Go away. I know. Asshole. I know what you're saying. Asshole. I know what you're saying. It's okay. I can hear you out there. Fucking asshole. Farting asshole. On that note, I'm not. This one little topic I'll talk about and then I'll let you go. Growing up as a child, no, this is not a woe was me thing. growing up as a child, my dad would, the business that he was in, loan sharking and stuff, always greasing palms and shaking hands and whatever he was doing. A lot of his business in the 70s and 80s were done at night. You know, making deals, making contracts, sealing deals. And they were all done in bars. They were all done in, you know, places that they were late night activities. It was the 70s. It was the 80s. So my mom, to put me on the right path, basically dragged me to church every Sunday. Didn't want to go, but, you know, she had to find the Lord and had to do all that stuff. You know, my dad was arrested several times for DUIs and, you know, yada, yada, yada. And so she wanted to make sure that I didn't follow that path. Little did she know. Growing up now, if she could hear me now. But not for nothing. I believe in religion to a certain point that, yes, it does make you a better person. Do I dedicate my whole entire life to being religious? No. Do I sit there and pray to God, oh, you know, everything good and grace through you and God and Jesus, he make everything possible? No. I do believe in the golden rule. Do unto others as you would wish have or done unto you. I believe in that wholeheartedly. I do believe in being a secret, not a secret. I believe in doing good things for people when good things merit, or people merit good things. The reason why I say that is because, you know, all my lessons in church and stuff, I take pride in being a good person. You wouldn't know it by listening to the show. But no, I mean, for the most part, if you don't know me, as long as, you know, we're a brand new relationship and stuff, or you know, that's what you need in life. Like I said at the beginning of the show, you need relationships and good partnerships and stuff like that. As long as you're in that same field, as long as you don't double cross me and do anything like that, everything's good. I think everyone should obey by those kind of commandments. I don't know what that is, but anyways. So I was mowing the lawn the other day, and I've got, you know, big zero-turn lawnmower and stuff. And I told you the one property that kind of butts up behind mine is owned. He's got 6 acres. And his property butts up on one slice of my property, and it's completely cleared out. There's no trees or anything. It's just his house and a couple like pecan trees and a couple maple trees, but it's developed. And it's all grass. And his name, the gentleman that lives there, his name is Charlie. Charlie's 78 years old. Charlie is 78-year-old retired preacher. Charlie is a 78-year-old retired preacher who was on missions throughout the whole entire South America and stuff. Charlie is a retired preacher who can't hear, has diabetes, and also used to take hardwoods and make instruments in his shop based on biblical instruments from the Bible. So ukes, lalies, all whatever's in the Bible, if they use it in the Bible, he would make those instruments. Doesn't do anymore. He's 78 years old. Like I said, he's got diabetes. He's got all these other problems. He can't hear and all that stuff. So every Thursday, I would hear his mower. He's got a huge, nice, thick, heavy-duty John Deere zero-turn lawnmower. He's got 6 acres he's got to mow. He needs something to get through it. And I'd hear him, and sometimes I'll go out there and I'll wave to him, and he's like, hey, what's going on? Hey. So I'm out there mowing the lawn the other day on my property, and I look and see that half of his is not done. The half closer to my property line, and it's probably 2 acres. And I was like going, well, shoot, it's getting tall out there. And I know that, you know, Charlie would not leave this like this because his wife takes pride in that lawn. He told me, he's like going, I didn't want this big of a lawn. I don't know why he sounds like that. He's like, I don't want, let's do it this voice. Well, I didn't want this kind of a size of a lawn, but my wife loves this side of the lawn or this size of lawn. So I have to take care and make mama happy. Praise Jesus. I know he's probably seen his share of fun times. So I said, you know what? I wonder if he's okay. Now, I don't have Charlie's phone number. I just know him from waving to him over the fence and you know, talking back and forth now and then. We've had some pretty deep conversations for the last half hour or so. I said, well, let me go over there. I've got the mower on. I'm not doing anything. I'm drinking a couple of these, and it's still early. It's only 4 o'clock, and I usually wrap everything up by 6 o'clock, 6:30. Go inside the house. Let me go ahead and mow these 2 acres for him. So I go out there with my mower, and it's nowhere near the power that his has because the grass is a good almost not a foot tall, but just shy of a foot tall. And, I'm like, oh, I got to bump up the blade. Finally found a good medium. So I went out there and mowed the 2 acres that he did not get done. And I told my wife, she's like, oh my, did you do that? I said, yeah, it was a little bit more than I bit off more than I could chew, but I mowed it for him. She's like, well, that was nice of you. I go, I know, I do nice things. She's like, has he said anything to you? I go, you know what? Don't even care. Not looking for anything. Not looking for accolades. I'm not looking for a thank you. I'm not looking for anything. Because I know that he's 78 years old. He hates mowing the lawn. Something must have happened where he had to stop in the middle of the yard and wasn't able to finish the rest of it for 2 weeks. I went out there and mowed it. Saw him the next day mowing it after 2.5 weeks of not mowing it. And he's out there mowing it. He's done. He probably doesn't even know that was mowed, but still, I went out there and knocked it down for him enough to where he could mow it. So I did a good deed. I'm not looking for anything like a thank you or a parade or anything like that. I know in my heart that it balanced out me calling my dad an idiot. Well, be nicer to your dad. No, that bridge has sailed, or that boat is burned already. So I just, I'm not a complete asshole. I know. All right, guys. I'm going to let you get back to doing whatever that you want to do for the rest of the day. I got to go check my meat. On that note, guys, okay. See you. Bye. Realm Big Control. I can't do it. What am I doing? I gotta hold it for 10 seconds or it won't take. All right, guys. See ya.